Hey everybody, welcome back to Sport Bike Menace. So today we're doing the dyno tuning. My friend just came by with his trailer to pick me up. Today's his birthday, so I'm hoping I can make this pretty quick. And I wish him a happy birthday to my boy Lewis and to On Tools, who's a YouTuber. Happy birthday to them both. But we're gonna get the dyno tune. I just wanted to do the intro so it won't be as embarrassing looking at the camera. And I just want for you guys to see the numbers of how much horsepower and torque we got. Now for horsepower, I know with the dyno tune that we did before, which was a car dyno, was 183. So now we get to compare those numbers, even though they're not 100% correct. We're gonna compare these numbers and see what we can get. Plus the MR12 should give us at least around 10 horsepower and 10 torque, but we'll see what the MR12 also does towards the bike. So we're going to gather as much information as we possibly can so we can do racing. So we'll be right back, guys. So we're back, guys. This is me in my office. So I want to explain to you about the dyno tune that we did. We didn't do the MR12. To explain why we didn't do the MR12, so I didn't know this, so if I take heat for it, I'll take it. So the MR12 went bad because I opened up the can since October of last year, so it's basically a year old. You never want to open up MR12. MR12 is worse than regular gasoline because of how much chemicals is inside of it and whatnot. So I don't know much about MR12, so I kind of learned the hard way. So we didn't get to do the dyno tune because the mixture wasn't pure. So even if we would have followed through with the dyno tune, the mixture was wrong, so the dyno was going to be wrong, and it would have still not, it would have been a waste of money and a waste of time. So basically the can that I had that cost me $240 was a waste of money because it was no good. You can run it, but you're gonna run a risk of damaging the injectors, the fuel pump, and everything that goes along with it. So we didn't get to run the MR12, and I'm gonna show you guys the graph that he printed out for me, the before and after for 93. We're gonna go through that first, and then we're gonna go through the MR12 and see what he did one run, but he just didn't tune the 93. So I'm gonna explain why he didn't tune it. Is because he didn't want to damage the motor, damage anything with the bike. So he ran it. It got like 3 or 4 horsepower with just adding the fuel without doing a tune. He can get a lot more, but because the bike wasn't running good, just adding that fuel, he said no, he doesn't want to risk the motor. So we didn't follow through with it. I have another appointment on the 31st. I'm not 100% sure if I'll make it to that appointment, but it is what it is. So we went through with the 93. I gotta adjust the bike now before I actually give it the full throttle and do anything else that I want to do to it. But I don't want to race it yet because I want to wait until the MR12 is also done and make sure that the bike is running at her best. So we're gonna go through the graph right now. Hopefully that the camera will pick up the graph, and I'll explain to you guys why everything is the way it is. All right, so here's the graph. So we ended up with 173.84 horsepower. And then here is the torque, 81.18. Now, these numbers could be higher, but because we did it in 5th gear, it's much harder to get a higher top speed or acceleration. I'm sorry, acceleration and top speed. So that's why the numbers were so low. Plus, to remind you guys, my bike has 23,000 miles on the motor. The more miles the bike have, the less horsepower and torque you're gonna have with the bike, compared to a bike that has 8,000 miles compared to 23,000 miles. It's just the more abuse you do to the motor, the less horsepower and torque it's gonna have. So this is the before, 159.88 with 76.03 torque. Now this is the one we did with the car dyno, and I try to explain to my friends, but they don't really fully understand it, which is okay. You know, I'm not gonna argue with people because that's not my job. I don't make money to argue with people. The information that's given to me is the information that I give out. So the reason why we have 159 horsepower compared to the dyno that we did, the car dyno, which was 183 horsepower, and I can't remember the torque that we had overall. So the reason why the dyno was wrong was because we didn't block off the pair valve. The pair valve pushes fresh air into the exhaust, which gives the breathing hose false reading because it's breathing in fresh air from the motor and putting it into the exhaust. When you block off that vacuum hose, it's not going to feed that fresh air to the exhaust. So when that breathing hose is not there, it's just not going to give that false reading. So it's going to give you the correct reading. So when we didn't plug the pair valve, which I knew about, I told my friend about it. He was like, no, that this is it's all right. This breathing hose is going to be able to read it, which is not true. It's not true at all. Don't believe nobody. You got to take the pair valve off or block off the vacuum hose, and then you'll get the correct reading. Some people put block off plates if they don't want crackle and pops or flames coming out. So this is without blocking the pair valves. This is the horsepower we had without blocking it. Now to show you guys the fuel to air ratio with not blocking the pair valve, you can see that it's everywhere. It's not going straight. Now there is dotted lines where it's supposed to be smooth at. Now don't get me wrong, he doesn't got it completely smooth at the bottom. To get this line perfect, sometimes you got to do multiple dyno runs. Brock's Performance talks about this. I watch a lot of his videos. I learn off of him. If he doesn't know what he's doing, then why does he got his name out there on products? So I watch a lot of his YouTube videos. So I learned from him. So The blue line was the one before and then the one after. So to show you guys, it's still everywhere in the beginning, but then he straightens it out towards the end. Then it becomes straight. So again, I don't know if he can, you know, fix that part. I don't know yet because I didn't get to talk to him about it. I was just more worried about the overall horsepower and torque. But as you guys can see, now he did say that the bike is running good. It's not running like shitty. I did change a lot of the spark plugs, coil packs, air filter, oil change, oil filter. So I did a lot to make sure that that bike stays in good condition. So this is the MR12. So I'm gonna try to end this really quick because I don't wanna make this too long. So the MR12, we put it in, this is without a tune, no tune. We got 177.86 with no tune. So we did good horsepower, and I don't know if we got torque. I gotta look at it. Oh, we got a little bit of torque. 82.46 compared to this one up here. So we got what, 44, 45, 46, 47, about 4 horsepower alone just on the MR12 without tuning it, because it needs tune. So the reason why he stopped the bike was because of this dip. When it did this dip, the bike wasn't liking the fuel that we put in, because that fuel was already damaged. If we would have continued running this fuel, we would have damaged that bike even more. So he stopped the tune. We only got to run one pass and without a tune. He said, we're not even going to bother with it. I don't want to damage your motor. So we took it out and we didn't follow through with it. But as you can see up here, we got 176.27. Well, that's where it dipped out. We got down here 72.36 with the MR12. But to show you guys, see if to show you guys comparison to both. So to show you guys where it stopped at. But yeah, so that's why we didn't get to run MR12, because of my mistake. I do have a fresh can downstairs. He said, I don't know why you didn't bring me the fresh can. It's because I didn't know any better. So a lot of times when you do, it's called test and tune. When you do dyno racing, you test the bike out. If you made a mistake, you can go back and fix the tune. So basically, this is basically a test and tune. You make a mistake, you gotta fix it. You gotta make tunes, or you gotta make adjustments. So that's where we're at right now. So guys, I hope you guys learn a little bit off of my mistake. And everybody, please, you know, subscribe to the channel, put a like, put a comment. Please ride it safe, be safe, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.